All right, just for the heck of it, I thought I would set up this little rig so we could look at the inside of Tom's guitar, also known as the Nautilus. We're starting here with the tail block. This is the inside of the ribs. I've got it suspended in its mold, and I've got my camera dangled down inside it. So I'm going to move the turntable here around and talk about the stuff. You can see the strips here, the kerfed linings. They have various names, kerfing strips. These I make in my own shop, and I make them out of Spanish cedar, because the Spanish and cedar gives a really nice smell to the guitar, and it's very fragrant, and it lasts for a long time, like years down the road. It'll still be a blast of nice smell, like the inside of a cigar humidor when you open the case. You can see that the insides, you can see here, there's a little tiny bit of stuff I got to clean up yet. This is bleed through. These are laminated sides, and the inside is wenge. The middle layer is maple, and the outside is the Brazilian rosewood that matches the back. The wenge is very porous, and some of the epoxy sort of dripped through, rather sort of, what's the word? Came through. I know there's a word that I could use. Thank you very much. Okay, here's the corner of the outside of the cutaway. Just to give you context, here's the head block, and here's the cutaway. As you can see, I've gone to pretty great pains to make all of the little joints quite airtight. I like them to be, I want the inside of the guitar to be as nice as the outside, really. And there's no real reason for that other than it's just it's a continuity of the philosophy of the build. Even though these joints will probably never be seen, I just know that it's done. Like, if you just do it one way, you just do the best you can do on every single joint, then you never have to question anything. You just do it. Okay, now we're getting into the most interesting part of the inside here. First of all, this bar, this is a carbon fiber rod that supports from the compound neck block here, and it goes all the way to a receiver here on the side. This is epoxied all together with T88, which is structural grade epoxy. It ain't going anywhere. And this strut is to compensate for the fact that along this area is where the 3D sound port will be going, and it takes a significant chunk of structure out of the shoulder there. So I figured that this strut will reinforce that and keep it nice and strong over the years. On this side, I didn't put one because we've got the cutaway, which creates this really strong box structure. So I only need it on one side. You can see even though I've got my kerfed linings up here, down here where the 3D sound port goes, and it's a little bit taller, I used solid linings that I bent. If you can see here, this is kind of a cool one. I feathered it. This is laminated cedar, Spanish cedar, and I sort of laminated it up against what becomes the reinforcement for what will be the arm bevel here. So it's all feathered together really beautifully. So it's like the joinery is kind of cool in there. This is going to be very, oh no, here it is. You can see this is for the waist bevel. These are blocks of cedar, Spanish cedar that I cut very carefully and sort of carved so they will support the bevels on the inside. And we're coming back around here to the tail block. So as you can see, the inside of this guitar is very complicated. In fact, my regular guitars take me about, a day to put the linings in, and the blocks and linings going in a day, and this was more like 3 days. There's quite a bit of stuff you got to get right in the right places, of course, and sort of a lot of forethought that went into it. So I'll do one more dizzying tilt-a-whirl spin here of the whole inside, and I'll be done. So, there she blows. It's kind of nice in there, and no one else will ever get to see that again, except you'll be able to peek in through the sound hole, but that's it. All right, that's what I got. Bye.